So what did it feel like when you did get that call that they wanted you to perform at the Oscars?
So the first call I received was probably around 5 months ago from the COO of the Academy that she asked if I would play the governor's ball. And that was exciting. I was like, I was happy about that because the only time that I had been to the Academy Awards was when Common won. And I went with Common. I wasn't even in the theater when he won. I was just in the dressing room chilling with him. And then we went to the governor's ball and I saw how beautiful it was. And immediately I thought like, man, I want to do this one day. Then I found out some friends were doing it, some of my fellow DJs. So I would never ask if I knew someone had a gig, I would never ask. I don't believe in like blocking someone else's blessings. And when she called and asked me to play, the first thing I said was like, "Hey, that belongs to." And she was like, "No, this year belongs to you. This is for you. Like you did this," and that was beautiful. And then roughly around 2 months ago, I got a call from Will Packer. As soon as he locked in the deal, one of the first people he called was me to say, "Hey, what are you doing on this date? I'm producing the Academy Awards and I need you on the show." My mind was completely blown away, but excited. And not just excited for me, but excited for like every young Black DJ that may feel like you just have to stick to one genre or be one type of DJ. Like, no, we love people, we love music, we share music, and that love of music has taken me everywhere.
So, and just to explain to people, the governor's ball is like the party, okay, with the Oscars. So it's very prestigious in its own right. Now you have played plenty of big gigs before. I mean, Obama's inauguration. I mean, you have done a lot of different events. But what is your approach when you're going into something like the Oscars?
Because of what happened with Club Quarantine, my approach is different than it would have been 3 years ago or 2 years ago. Um,
How so?
because 2 years ago, I didn't know myself musically. Like I would play what I thought people wanted to hear. Like I would play what I believed that they wanted to hear at a party. I wasn't 100% who I am. And it wasn't until, I started this virtual party where there was no one in a room with me and I had to just play what I loved. And what I loved actually mattered to people. And it introduced people to new music and it introduced people to classics that they had never heard, or to some people, it was very nostalgic. The way I would play these older songs and mix it in with new records. I wouldn't have done that at the Governor's Ball or even at the Academy Awards. I wouldn't have done that had I not found my love of music and my space within and the freedom to play what I love. That wouldn't have happened. So 2 years ago, I would have played what I thought they wanted to hear. This time, when I was playing music and people were walking out, and Dune one, I was playing Earth, Wind, and Fire's Fantasy. Like if you get it, you get it. You know what I mean? Like I was playing records like that. Like when the winners came out, and they've never really seen anything like at the Academy Awards. Like I read on a blog earlier this morning. Oh my gosh, the Academy played Africa when when um Daniel and her walked out. And to me, they didn't realize that it was a Black person that actually selected that song. I played Africa because I was celebrating Black culture. I didn't care. Taking it to the motherland.
Uh, so, just curious, what did you play when Will Smith won?
Oh well, by that point, I wasn't. I only did music direction for the first.
Oh, you for the first part. Okay, that's right.
Yeah. They
Because I was
broke
on.
it up. Yeah, it was like me, the first album, then Sheila E. and Travis Barker, and
Got you.
then they had like the traditional orchestra at the end.
Yeah, because I was on a plane to New York when the Oscars were going on, but I recorded it at home, and so I still haven't seen the show in its entirety yet. Um, Now, when you heard who else was going to be joining you in this experience, you mentioned Travis Barker and Sheila E. What was sort of your response to that, or what was your reaction?
I thought it was brilliant the way that Will Packer kind of put this together. He wanted the show to be fresh and to be inclusive of everyone and not just all people, but even like movies and genres of music and like the experience. So DJ's on fire right now. And the one DJ that kind of like, I mean, not patting myself on the back, but I am one of the people who throughout the last 2 years provided entertainment for the world. You know, when we couldn't party, we party with me. So the fact that they incorporated that experience into it was beautiful. The fact that they put together a band that it was very inclusive of like Latina and like Travis Barker and Adam, music director out of Philly, like it was just dope. And then to be respectful of what the tradition of the Academy Awards is, to be able to have like that orchestra in that last hour so it can still kind of like have that feeling. I thought it was beautiful. Outside, I know a lot of people are talking about what happened with the incident. I love both of them, and it's sad to see, but the show itself was beautiful. I thought Will and Shayla did an amazing job, and it's a little sad that things turned out the way that it did, but it shouldn't take away from how beautiful the experience was.
Well, I was gonna ask you, like, as somebody where this is a new experience for you, I mean, did you feel any resentment is the best word that I can put up with because that incident between Will Smith and Chris Rock has kind of overtaken, as you said, what was a wonderfully produced and in many ways so historic. I mean, here you have a black woman being the first black woman to produce the Oscars. You have an all black production team. You have you there also representing the culture. Like the representation for black people, period, was insane for this Oscars. So do you feel as somebody who participated in it that that moment overshadowed everything else that was so good about this Oscars?
I think just for like the last 2 days, it overshadowed it because of what happened. But honestly, like in my heart, I feel like people saw how beautiful it was, and I mean, from the intro, the Beyonce intro, shooting that filming that live in Compton, like things like that was just beautiful. Like, so people obviously want to like gravitate towards what they feel is negative. Me, those hours of sitting there and watching Will and those guys go to work, like I watched it come to life. I was at rehearsal the night before for like 4 hours. The morning of, we were up at like 9 o'clock in the morning rehearsing, like full show run through, and to see it all come together, like it was beautiful. And I really do hope that people take that away from it and not about the incident. Like the incident, like that happened. Like, it's unfortunate, but the amount of hard work that was put into that. I mean, even to song selection, like even selecting songs for that 1 hour, I can't even imagine what the orchestra had to go through. For me, like you literally had to have a song for every single, like for every category, but also for every winner, because the spirit of the movie was different. The power of the dog was different than Dune. You know what I mean? Like, so it was like, to see what was going on behind the scenes and what they put into that show was beautiful. So now I really do hope people take that away from it.
So did they did you know who was gonna win? Or did
No,
you didn't? Okay, so off the in your preparation, are you doing this where you're just like, okay, if Dune wins, I'm playing this. If such and such
exactly.
wins,
That's the way it
okay,
worked. The
okay.
way it worked was for each category, if there were five nominees, I had to have five different song selections based on what the feeling and the spirit of that movie was. And yeah, that's why I said the experience was just a very unique one I'll never forget, because it really took a lot of look when the power of the dog was coming. When I was really trying to play George Clinton, Atomic Dog. Like I was trying to get Atomic Dog in there, like just kind of like throwing some like subtle love to like the people out there. You know what I mean? Like we couldn't get that record through. I was like, come on now, I need that. If they win, I want that to happen. But no, it was a beautiful experience.
So now, what was your Oscars night like? Okay, so you go to the governor's ball, you're doing that. Um, like how long were you out, out and up?
I woke up, I got some rest. No, what am I talking about? I didn't even rest Saturday night. I was supposed to rest Saturday night, but the Roots and their team asked me to attend the Roots party. And that was a big party for them. It was like their Roots Oscar event. And we all kind of felt, hey, Charlie, we all kind of felt like we were hoping that Amir would win. So, I went out and I didn't, made a little guest appearance. And I returned home or to my hotel at like about 3 a.m. and then I got up at 8 a.m. And then we rehearsed and then the show started. We did the show. Then immediately played the gov ball. And then I played Vanity Fair. I went and played at the
Oh, you
Vanity
did
Fair party.
both. Oh my gosh.
Oh no! I had the Vanity Fair party, and then once I played Vanity Fair, I went over to Guy Osiris party, and I played there as well. Guy and Madonna has like this legendary Oscar night party that they do. So I was pretty much up for almost 24 hours.
So how
But,
did you
but the month
make
was good.
Yeah, I mean, I guess Club Quarantine kind of prepared you for this, considering how long you spent DJing at some moments during Club CQ. So I was like, how did you stamina wise? How did you do it?
I was good. I really didn't eat much. I nibbled on crackers all day, and I mean, just imagine, what am I supposed to do? Like, I can't take breaks during the Academy Awards. And not only was I playing that first hour, but I also played every commercial break, leading into commercials. So, but no, I was running off of adrenaline, and just really excited about doing something that my peers, my contemporaries from my generation have never really done. Like there are only a few of us who that are still here doing what we love. I started in 1985, 86 was the first record came out. I don't know too many people in hip hop that are, from 86 that are still doing what they love other than, Latifah. I think she came out like 88, but still Queen Latifah to Will, Ice-T, who else? I mean,
Yeah, it's not a long list, that's for
oh, I
sure.
know. So to
Yeah.
be included in that list right now is incredible. It's an honor, for the amount of love and support that I receive.